Soccer playing putt-putt. All right, appreciate y'all tuning back into the channel. Today I'm going to show y'all how I set up a bumping rig. This rig, rod and reel that I'm setting up is for catfishing below the dams in a high current area when them fish start running up in there to feed pre-spawn. So anyways, it's a really fun way to fish. You get every bit of that fish's fight right there in your hands, and hey, it's a blast. It really is. It's probably one of the funner ways to catfish just because you feel every bit of that catfish. Because not sure if y'all are familiar with what walking a bait or bumping below a dam is. What it is, you got your cut bait on the end of the hook, and you just kind of drop it below the boat out the back, you know, and then just kind of pick it up and let that current take it, and then walk it back a couple feet. You're sitting there stationary, so you're just sitting there doing that. It's kind of like when you're bass fishing in a pond or something, you know how you cast out and you'll kind of slowly walk that worm back to you. Well, just imagine catfishing with cut bait, but doing that in reverse and using that cut bait and just kind of walking it back towards, towards hopefully where the fish are. So that's what walking a bait is, bumping a bait. So, man, it is a blast, and I want to show y'all how I do it. All right, so one of the most important things about your catfish bumping setup is going to be the reel you buy. So I know y'all seen the other video, or hopefully you did, but anyways, when you're anchor fishing or dragging baits, you can get by with just a monster reel, because you're not going to be sitting there holding it in your hand the whole time. Well, when you're bumping, you're going to sit here and hold this rod in your hand literally the entire time and just let it free spool line out the back as the current takes a bait. So you want something low profile. So what I use right here, I use these Penn. I'm sure y'all have heard of Penn name brand. I use a Penn Squall 400 LP HS. Maybe y'all can see that part number right there. But anyways, the 400 on that's just saying the size of the reel. So, whether it's a low profile bait caster for bass fishing or whatever, they all got a size, and the 400 is a pretty big size. The reason I want the big size is because I want to be able to hold a bunch of braid on here. That way I can walk bait for a long ways back, and if I get broke off, I ain't got to immediately re-spool a bunch of lines. So anyways, that's why I got the size. The low profile, again, is just that way I can hold it in my hand really good when I'm walking it back. And so the gear ratio, that's what that HS is. So these Penn Squalls right here, you can get them in different gear ratios, but I always get the 7.6 to 1. That way, when I get a bite, when you get a bite, you're going to know it. It's going about to snatch it out of your hands. But when I get a bite, I want to immediately be able to start cranking that thing in and get him up off the bottom. That way it don't break me off or cut me off on any debris. Because if you've ever fished dams, there's just stuff everywhere below them. Whether it's rocks, concrete. They do that, I guess, for erosion. But anyways, so that's why I do the high speed. And the rod selection, hey, I use these big cat fevers. I don't think they're on their website right now. I bought one of them new, and I picked one up used a couple years ago. So that's what I use. I know several different people, they make bumping rigs or bumping rods. Pretty much all your big name catfish rod manufacturers, they all make them. Mag Cats, Ripping Lips, Chasing Cats, I think Toughest Freaking Rods. I think they make one too. So pretty much just pick whatever color you like and go get it. They all the same. These things, they're 7'6" long, so they are a big long rod. Got a big handle on them right here. That way you can really brace that thing on your forearm while you're sitting there fishing. But they're heavy action. That way when you get that fish on there, that arc or the bend of the rod will actually help set that hook on him too. That way it ain't just flimsy like a spaghetti noodle. So anyways, these things also, I believe they're all carbon fiber, most of the bumping rod you see. That way you can really feel it, and it just makes it easier. That way you can feel your little cannonball weight going back. I don't know if y'all can see that. That way you can feel it walking back through the rocks. But anyways, so that's my rod and reel set up. Set that right here, that way I don't knock it off. Next we're going to talk about fishing line. So I use monofilament on my regular rods, but I use braid on these bumping rigs. I just use this stuff right here from Amazon. The reason I buy it from them, for one, it's inexpensive and you can get it in 1,000-yard spools. I use green, I don't know if y'all can see that, but I use green braid just like my monofilament. That way I can see it. Now I will say they make some stuff that's like, you'll see all different colors, yellow, blue, like almost blue, they'll turn to white, you know, every so many yards. I love the way that stuff looks. And I thought about buying it, but I like green because I can see it. So anyways, that's a pretty big deal. Anyway, so that's the line I use. On this particular style rig, when you're walking baits, I like to use that right there. It's a 3-way swivel. These right here, the 2 main loops right here, they are actually 2.5 swivels. Hopefully you can see that. And then the one that I'm going to drop my weight line off of, it's actually a 1.5. So I've used them. I've caught all sorts of fish on them. Never had any trouble. I can't remember where I bought them from, but they come in 50 packs. And you can see I've had that pack right there for a few years, and it's nowhere near empty. So, anyways, there's that. You know, again, I just use the Whisker Seeker 12-aught hooks. I know a lot of people, they'll switch to smaller hooks when they're walking baits, but hey, I just use one hook does it all. I try to take a lot of hassle out of this catfishing. I try to use a lot of stuffers, same thing. My leader line, again, just Andy, 100-pound leader. And when I'm walking baits, I will put the 3-inch peg floats from Monster Catfishing on there, which I'm gonna show y'all all this. So anyways, that's the stuff I use. Well, I guess I can show you this too. This is the line that I use to drop down. It'll drop down from this middle swivel right here to hold my weight. So I use a 15-pound line on that. That's just a Berkeley big game. Used to, I would try to use like a smaller line. You know, I've tried anywhere from 8 to 5, just whatever I had in the boat. But I found that if I don't use at least a 15-pound line, when I go to cast that out, you know, if I'm going to try to cast it to a certain spot before I start walking it back, when that weight goes and slings around, it'll actually break that line. So that's why I swapped to 15-pound. And it seems to work really good for me. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start spooling up this reel right here, get some braid on it. One thing to note, when you're spooling braid up on a reel, make sure you get it really tight. You know, if it's just sitting on there kind of loose, whenever you catch a fish, it's going to pull that braid up under the rest of the line that's on the reel. So make sure when you do that, get it on there as tight as you can. I don't know if y'all can see that, but you know, that's not super loose on there. So it'll be some work to actually fill this reel up, but I want it to be tight on there. You will not regret doing that, I promise you. Ask me how I know. I did it the other way and it'd be a mess. You know, when that braid goes up under the rest of it, it'll actually end up making you bird nest your rod. You know, you'll backlash it. So anyways, that's that. I'm going to see about throwing on like a little chest cam for y'all. That way you can see me reeling this up. I'll put it in fast forward. That way you ain't sitting there watching me struggle putting it on there. But we'll get that on, and then I'm gonna show y'all how I set this thing up the rest of the way. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get this line fed through this, all these eyes on this reel. This is a good time while you're doing this. Inspect the eyes on your reel, make sure there ain't nothing sharp. I know this right here, they have stainless steel guides. So stainless steel eyes, I guess. So anyways, go ahead and inspect that. 4, 5, I like to count these on the way down. Just that way I make sure I get through every one. Again, just like the other video, I don't want to miss one and get out there and it take away time from fishing. So count them, double check them, do whatever you got to do. You see how tight that line is right there, me trying to pull it up to get more slack. Hopefully that'll help that line not be able to roll up under itself when I catch fish out there. So, Okay, did that. Now these reels right here, they actually have a spot. I don't know if you can see, but they actually have a spot on these spools that you can run the line through. So it's not just a knot over top and you have to cinch it around. So anyways, I want to get that fed through there, and I want to do just a little fisherman's knot and get it ready to start spooling this thing up on there. All right, so I got my line through my rod, got it through my spool, got a little fisherman's knot in it. I'm gonna go ahead and use my little Bubba scissors and cut that tail off that knot right there. Now I can start reeling it up, start getting the line on this guy. So we're going to do that, and we'll be nearly ready to start rigging it up then. All right, so I got this pretty tight right here. Well, I got a mess right now. All right, so you can see right here, I've already wrapped it, reeled it up a little bit. We'll go ahead and get this thing done. It should be a little tight on there. That way it reels it up good and tight on the reel. So anyways, I'll be back in just a little bit. All right, well, I got the spool filled up with the 65-pound braid, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off and start setting up the swivel, three-way swivel, get my leader on it and my 3-inch peg float and get it set up, get it ready to go. Anyways, that's what it looks like, full. Pretty good looking rod and reel combo, if I must say. Anyways, okay, let's get this dude going. All right, so remember, I start off with like again, same thing as my other rods, 4-foot piece of leader. That's that Andy 100-pound monofilament. Then I go ahead and tie me a snell knot on right there to that 12-aught whisker seeker triple threat hook. Anyways, you know, if you want to learn how to tie one of them, there's a million how-to videos on YouTube. You can get on there and find one. But anyways, get that snell knot knocked out. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to get my 3-inch peg floats. Again, I buy them from Monster Catfishing. They're about as reasonably priced you'll find. And I run peg floats on everything. Right, wrong, indifferent. I just like them. Feel like I don't get hung up as much. So anyways, get that peg float on there. Get it about a foot from the bottom, get that thing stuck in there. So that's what I got so far. I got my hook, catching myself looking at the screen instead of at the camera lens. I got the hook, and I got the float, the 3-inch peg float right there. So anyways, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tie the straight side of this, swivel right here on the end of this. And I'm going to use a Palomar knot on that. Again, you can find them all over YouTube on how to tie them the right way, their way. You know, it's not hard. The more you do, the quicker you get at it. We're just trying to get it knocked out, get these rods ready for some catfishing. Anyways, we're going to, we're always going to moisten these Palomar knots up because they say it'll actually burn the line, and we don't want to cause any failure points on something that's just not taking our time to do. Anyways, got that on there. Before I cinch it up, we'll moisten it up. There we go. Them knots right there, they're strong. I've used them on everything. Primarily, you know, other than the hooks right here, I use them Palomar knots on anything. If I ever go bass fishing, you know, just about anything, I'll tie them because I know they work. I got confidence in them. And like we said, confidence is king on this. So look, right here. Here's our leader so far. We got our 12-aught hook, again, 3-inch peg float. We got our 3-way swivel right here tied up. Now I am going to go ahead and I'm going to tie this onto the end of my braid. And we'll be about done. All right, give me just a second. We're gonna get that done. We're probably gonna have to move the camera a little. We'll see. All right, real quick. We're gonna do the Palomar knot on this end too, from our main line to our 3-way swivel. This shouldn't take but a second either. Get this knocked out. Now I gotta go run an errand, and I'll finish this video when I get back. Hopefully through the magic of editing, you won't be able to tell, but we'll see. All right. Oh, I hooked myself down there, hooked my belly, big belly. Well, look like I ain't never did this before since I'm saying how easy it is. All right, so I got that through there. Again, just gonna moisten it up. Make sure you don't burn your line, nothing like that. And get it done. There you go, and that's it. Now, when I get back from this quick errand, I'm going to show y'all how I do my little weight line on here. You know, do it with the smaller line, that way it breaks before the main does in case that weight gets hung up. So that's it right there. Got my 3-way swivel, everything else. All right, I'll catch you on a little bit. I gotta go run an errand, but hopefully you won't be able to even tell. We'll see. All right, so I'm back from my errands. Now I'm gonna show y'all how I finish this rig up. So now I got a piece of 15-pound Berkeley big game. It's probably about 24 inches long. Again, do the smaller 15-pound Berkeley big game. That way, you know, if you break something off, you'd rather this break off than the rig that costs more money and it's harder to tie up. So anyways, first thing I do, I just tie a little fisherman knot right there. It ain't got to be nothing perfect by no means. This is just holding lead. That way it keeps the bait on the bottom while you're bumping or while you're walking that cut shad back. So anyways, we're going to get this fisherman's knot on here. About got it done. It is a little harder with it being on the swivel because it wants to spin with you instead of twisting around the line. But anyways, got that done. Boom, that don't take but a second, right? Get that tail clipped, leave about 3/8 of an inch. My weight rolled off on me, did y'all see that? It's like playing putt-putt. I'm gonna stop the video and I'm gonna grab another weight. All right, so I tied a loop on the end of my leg line. I got that weight right there, went and grabbed another one, got it on there. All you do is tie a loop on it, and then you can feed it back through there and you can change your weights pretty easy. So anyways, you got that on there. You're gonna put you a piece of cut bait on your hook right here, and you're just gonna drop this thing out right behind your boat. If you anchored up right in the tail race of the dam, or you can cast out a little bit. And you're just gonna leave that thing in free spool, and when you feel it hit the bottom, you're gonna take and pull that rod up just a little. And as you're pulling it up, you're gonna let your thumb off of the spool. That way the current can take it back just a little bit. Then you're gonna put your thumb back on it until you feel it. It's very easy. It's gonna take some getting used to. And I'll end up doing a video later on in the spring when we're out there doing it. That way you can see, and I'll try to link this video to it. But anyways, that's how I do a bumping rig right there. Super simple. Again, you know, the most expensive thing in it is the rod and reel, which I guess that goes without saying, without anything. But anyways, I hope you liked that video. Before long, we're going to get out there and start doing some bumping below these dams around here on the Tennessee River. And hopefully get on a big one. But anyways, appreciate y'all watching, and y'all have a good week. See ya.